Coach Lifa, I know that especially in the first few matches, maybe we are used to Sundowns that is more expansive. A lot of people were like, is this really going to work? What has been your assessment in terms of how Coach Miguel goes about setting his team? And also, is it more about sticking to how we've always known Sundowns with Piano and Shoeshine, or is it about effective football?
Look, for me, I think Sundowns has drifted away from their style of play. You see more lesser combination play, slow build up, transition into the midfield, develop the attack, find spaces into the final third, one-on-one, cutbacks and finish. It's more now control ball possession, few passes amongst the defenders and the keeper, and then as soon as the spaces appear, then they connect with a diagonal or a long ball forward, and then they build from the top. So I would guess like you've seen how they've transitioned from Rulani to Mangoba, and now with the latest coach, that they want to play more of a control ball possession where passes are limited, you are directed by where the space is open. It's not deliberate as before.
Yes,
where
yes.
you could see, that they are going to take their time and to draw up opponents from their natural defensive position, take them to one side, transition to the side with low pressure, and then increase the tempo. So I think their style of play has changed, but the fans are happy because they're getting the results.
Because if you go back to how they played against Esperance last season, and Coach Miguel was the coach, they were on the back foot most of the time, but they launched attacks, then they won. So I'm not saying Sundowns wants to, but what I'm trying to say is maybe there's more now a focus, because they know that they're just working. They're just working here, as you can see. So maybe the emphasis is more how they achieve that side.
I think it's a philosophical thing. Do you sacrifice your identity for results, or results first and then your philosophy will come later? So I would say, look, identity is important. I'm not the owner of.
Maybe what is your take on this? Maybe is it more about the influence of the SD, Flemming back in terms of how he sees this going forward?
Let's be quite honest. We South Africans, the way Sundowns was doing things with the previous coaches, RM, you check Mangoba, then when you check on how they were doing, we all love it. And now when you check on how they are doing things, we all believe that they deviated from that style of play. They are coming with a more direct way. Maybe one would say that's how you win the African League. But let's be honest, we are the South Africans, and that style of play that was working for us. And now it's a question of more business in terms of the South African fans that pack the stadium saying we want the Piano and Shoeshine of Sundowns.
Okay. Hey, these you can see they are here. They are part of the chosen few. So these are top South African coaches. You're not going to tell them otherwise. But just briefly, because a Sundowns win means that they are 18 points ahead of Pirates. Yes, Pirates has got 5 games in hand. But psychologically, what does that do to a Pirates team that still has to play those 5 matches if they are going to play all of them?
Well, for me, I think at this rate, I was one of the people that said with the changes of the coaches, Pirates had a bigger chance of winning the PSL this season. But you look at their inconsistency. When you compare them with Sundowns can have a bad game. I mean, they haven't played that entertaining football, but they get the results. With Pirates, they would play top football and trip against a team that you expect them to collect points. So, to be honest, even those 5 games, I doubt that, a miracle can happen, but I doubt they will collect all the points. But 18-point gap, it's a mountain to climb, and it always play in the back of your because if you are playing against a team and it sits back, it builds anxiety, because it's no longer about playing per se, but it's about closing the gap. And if they were to play against a team that sits back, you see the frustration. And you saw with some of the games, Pirates this season they've been dominating ball possession. The number of passes they make. I mean, I saw some stats where they had over 500 passes, but when they play with a game where they are struggling to get a goal, you start seeing them pumping the ball forward, play individually, and no longer as a team as we've accustomed to them. So psychologically, it's going to be a burden for them, especially with this gap keeping on going up.